how we doing? How we doing? Round of applause. Round of applause. Your boys on YouTube. What's going on? We're here. We on a video camera and and stuff. Excuse me. I know my mom probably gonna be watching this video, so I'm gonna watch how I'm cussing. She raised me right. I'm a good young lad.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Anyways, we probably making FL Studio videos, just tutorials, things like that. I'm really making these videos to help out the boys. Shout out Tuo, shout out Peachy, Spotify's, Apple Music, SoundClouds, Musios, YouTube, the MP3s, all their links in the description. You heard me? Yeah, we kind of just gonna be making some videos, super simple stuff for the first one, and then we're gonna get like really in depth really quick. I'm trying to make like masterclass video, probably just teach you start to finish everything you need to know to make a project start to finish in FL Studio. I'm talking making the beat, I'm talking recording vocals, I'm talking mixing, mastering, exporting stems, uploading to DistroKid or some other music distributor, something like that. So all you independent rappers, hip-hop producers, R&B singers, pop singers, whatever, country singers, I don't care, whatever floats your boat, I got you. I'm gonna help you out. We're gonna get it together as long as you use FL Studio. If you don't use FL Studio, I got nothing for you. Go watch a different video. But now that we here, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you already got FL Studio downloaded, because it's not that freaking hard. And if you can't figure it out, this series might not be for you. I'm just playing. It's real simple. Go to imageline.com and click download. And then when it downloads, all you gotta do is open up that file. Just follow the installation wizard. I'm sure somebody else made a much better video on it than I'm gonna make. So, just go ahead and go watch that. It's probably going to be super quick, 5-minute video. It's a super easy install. So go ahead and run through that. Once you get it loaded up, come back and watch this video. We love having you here. Real simple. This is going to be like an orientation video of FL Studio. If it's your first time loading up this program, it's probably extremely confusing. Even if it's not your first time loading it up, like my boy Peachy, I know has no idea what's going on with half of the stuff on the screen right here. So hopefully this video is gonna help you figure some things out. I'm also gonna do my best to throw in those keyboard commands, shortcuts, help speed up the workflow. PSA, I'm gonna put that in big bold letters here if I learn how to edit videos. Big PSA. I do not rock with you Mac users. I'm not teaching you how to do nothing on an Apple computer. Don't ask me. I don't know how. It's not my thing. I'm a PC guy. Been a PC guy my whole life. You can thank my father for that. So first things first, when you open up your project, it's probably going to look like this. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. You're probably not using FL Studio. So let's get orientated, right? Up in the top left, you got File, Edit, Add, Patterns, View, Options, Tools, Help. I hope you can read and you can see that. File's really the only thing that's important in here. This is how you open your new projects or your old projects or recent projects. This is also how you're going to export things like your final mixes, your final masters, your stems. And I'll talk about all that stuff. I'll make a different video for all that stuff. I'm just kind of getting you familiarized with where everything is. Then we got your options tab. So this is where all your settings are going to be. Your file settings, your MIDI settings, plugin locations, directories are going to be. If you don't know what that is, chill out. I'm gonna make another video. I got you. Don't worry about it. All right. Here we got what I like to call your master effects. Everything that's up in this top tab that I'm aggressively highlighting with my mouse. If you do something up here, it's gonna apply to everything you do. First thing I'd like to point out is pattern and song. That's what these two buttons are. They bounce back and forth. Pat is short for pattern. If you didn't figure that out, you hit this big X right here and you turn your computer off. This is your play. This is your stop button. This is your record button. We'll go over that in a little bit too. Up here, you got your tempo. If you don't know what a tempo is, it's how fast you do something. I know a lot of you could learn some lessons on rhythm. So here we go. We got our tap button. This is how you tap at a constant tempo. Maybe you're feeling out just how fast the sample's going, how fast you want to rap over something. All you gotta do is tap on it. Real simple, right? You could also scroll the wheel. You could right click on it. There's some presets. You could type in the value if you already know what it is, 140, whatever. That's how you do that. That's your tempo, beats per minute, whatever you want to call it. Here's your click track or your metronome. When you hit play, it's gonna click at your tempo that you set. Pretty crazy, right? I know most of you probably familiar with that, but some of you might not be. This is your wait for input to start playing. I don't think I've ever used that button in my entire life. I've been using this program for like 5 years, so don't worry about it. This is your 3, 2, 1. So this is gonna be your countdown. So when you go to record something, if you want to record right on beat 1 and you're gonna need like a little countdown before it, click that button and it'll give you a bar. So you'll have 4 counts if you're in a 4/4 time signature. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll start recording. So that way you can record right on the beat when it drops. Here we got our blend and our overdub button. What that means is if you record a vocal track in track 1, so right here, if you record something right here, and then you want to record something new in track 2, any audio that's playing while you're recording is also going to be added into this recording, and you're not going to be able to remove it. The way you use that is if all the audio you have in track 1 is perfect, exactly how you want it, and you just want to record something over the top here, go ahead and use that. But if that's not the case, don't use this button, because you're not going to be able to undo it, and your whole thing's going to be all jacked up, and I don't know how to undo it. I'm sorry. So don't use that button. This one right here is a loop recording button. Now, for all you bummy guitar players or piano players or whatever it is, this is a great button for you. Let me tell you why. Loop recording. So let's say you want to get your 8-bar loop down, right? You want to get these 8 bars. You want to have a super jazzy, super soulful guitar riff that you're going to shred. But guess what? You suck at guitar, like my boy 2-0. Shout out, though. It's all love. Maybe you're just not great at guitar, and it's going to take you a couple tries. The fastest way to do that is to make sure this loop button's enabled. And that way, when you record, you're going to record your 8 bars here. And instead of stopping the audio, having to reset your recording track and hit play again, it's just going to bounce right back to the beginning, and you could just keep going with it. And it'll keep doing that until you hit stop. It'll keep going down all these tracks, one after the other, 8 bars, until finally, by track 47, maybe you'll finally get one take, because you should have been practicing before you started recording. Your next button, this is for everybody who's producing on a budget. If you can't afford a MIDI controller, or maybe, grandma ain't come through for Christmas this year, that's all right. You got your typing keyboard, the piano keyboard. All you gotta do is click this button, and you can use the keys on your computer as a keyboard. That's pretty fancy, right? These other buttons in here, man, don't even worry about it. I don't even touch those. Now up here, you've got your time. This is where you count your minutes, seconds, beats, however you want to call it. All you got to do is click on it, and it just alternates between the two. I keep it on minutes and seconds because I like to see how much time has gone by. Bar 15 is 24 seconds into my song, right? So I can see how long my song actually is. Over here, we got your pattern knob. So this is very well associated with this pattern button here, because, it's the same word. So I would assume they're associated, right? If you hit the plus button, you can add a pattern. So let's call this piano. If I learn how to spell piano. Now we've got a pattern called piano. So again, this is our playlist, and this is our piano roll, or where we create our patterns. So let's say we want to make a little melody, and our melody is going to go like this, because I'm in a hurry and I don't really care.
I don't care.
So it's going to be nice little chromatic down the scale, chromatic starting from C, ending on F. So let's hit play, because we're on pattern. But guess what? We don't hear nothing. Why don't we hear nothing? Because we don't have an instrument selected. You got to select an instrument. It's not just going to play something like magic. So how do we select an instrument? Let me show you. The next button you're going to want to click is this channel rack. The channel rack is where you add all of your sounds. So this could be your drum sounds, your kick drums, your snares. It could be your plugins. It'll be where all your recorded audio is going to end up. Everything that makes noise is going to be in here. I'll make a video on how to get drum kits into your project, but for now, this is how you're going to add your plugins. I'm going to go ahead and assume, if you're watching this video, that none of you have any third-party plugins. None of you have gone and downloaded Addictive Keys. None of you have downloaded Omnisphere. Maybe you have, because you use a different program and you're switching to FL Studio because you realize that it's better than Logic or Ableton. But all you gotta do is hit that plus button. It's gonna pull up this menu. Now I'm a baller.
Stop the cap.
So I have a few different plugins that you might not have. So your list is gonna look a little different than mine. Don't worry about it, because I guarantee you're gonna have this beautiful plugin called FL Keys. Now this is a piano. In case you don't know what a piano looks like, it's that with the white and black keys. It's the stuff with the white and black keys, mom. Excuse me. So now that we're in pattern, if we hit play, it should play this pattern, right? Nope, you're wrong. You know why it doesn't do that? Because we didn't select our piano. So if you click this menu right here, it's going to open up this drop down menu. You're going to have your sampler, your FL keys. Why? Because that's the only two things that are in our channel rack. Now, if we had something else in the channel rack, it would show up here as well. So we want to go ahead and select FL Keys. Now we hit play, but guess what? There's nothing in there, because we got to take our pattern from sampler. We're going to hold control and drag our mouse over all of these. We're going to hit Control C. We're going to click here, go to FL Keys, and we're going to hit Control V. And now we just copied all the notes from the other pattern and pasted them here. Or you could just be smart and not mess up like I did and just write the pattern in here in the first place. Now when we hit play, look at that, beautiful. We have a little chromatic down the scale with the FL keys. Let's go ahead and hit song because we want to play it in a song, right? But we can't hear it. Why is that? Because our pattern's not in the playlist. If you want to put your song in the playlist, you got to take your pattern from out of here, highlight it, and click it in here. Now when we hit play, no problem. So this is where you're going to arrange all your songs, right? In your playlist. Now the way you can do this, you're going to have access to all your patterns over here. You're going to have access to all your audio files over here. This is things like, you know, the samples you're illegally downloading with YouTube to MP3, the samples you're recording, any vocal recordings you're doing. All that's going to show up here. All your patterns, which is everything you're creating with this plus knob, is going to show up over here. And all your automation, which is way too advanced for this video, is going to show up over here. Once you get it in the playlist, you can go ahead and highlight this. Again, hold Control, hold your mouse, highlight it, and if you hit Control B, it'll just copy it over. See how that works? And now look, maybe you wanted to go all the way out to here. You could highlight all of these and hit Control B, and look at that. Now it's really going over. Pretty neat, huh? But once you get all that in, you know, that's how you arrange it. You can have your different patterns like drums. Maybe you're gonna have bass. Maybe you're weird, so you're gonna have like drums too. All you gotta do, click, click, click. Maybe we're gonna have drums too over here, right? By the way, zoom in, hold Control, scroll wheel. Look at that. And this is how you move left and right. Highlight, B, B, B. Notice how it did that? Now if I highlight this and I don't highlight that, and I hold Shift and drag, it copies it and moves it over. You see how I did that? Let me slow down because I know you're not keeping up. If I highlight everything and I don't want to hit Control B, I can hold the Shift button, click, drag. Now we did that, right? You see how I did that? When it's highlighted in red like this, it's highlighted. If it's not highlighted in red, it's not highlighted. There's some game for you. I'm going to highlight everything, hit delete, because I don't want to see none of that because it looks messy and stupid and there's nothing in there. I'll go ahead and delete everything. You see how I did that? This is your mixer tab. This is probably the least important thing you need to know for this video. However, it's probably the only thing we're going to be using in a video I make down the road about how to mix, hence the mixer tab. Something you need to know about this mixer tab is that each and every single one of these pieces are exactly the same. They do the exact same thing. They have the exact same functions. They're just one in a chain. You got a million different, you can have as many of them as you want, as much as your computer's willing to handle, which probably isn't a lot because I'd imagine a lot of you are working on a bum version of some computer. I feel you, man. My computer wouldn't even turn on if it wasn't plugged in, so I feel you. The only thing that's different in this is your master. If this isn't turned on, you're not going to hear anything, so make sure this is turned on. When I say turned on, this is your mute button. It works like that on all of them. When you click on an insert, this is your volume, which controls how loud something gets. This is your panning, which means right to left. Take a guess. If I move it this way, which headphone are we going to hear it in? Probably the left one, right? You're pretty smart. If I move it this way, you're going to hear it in the right. Over here, we got your plugin picker. So if I click on this, it's going to pull up this plugin menu. Yours is not going to look like this because you have not spent as much money as I have on plugins. I hope you haven't, because it's actually a disgrace, and I'm so you're gonna have some plugins in here. You're probably gonna have a lot of stuff that says like Fruity before it. That's your stock plugins. It's okay. There's actually a ton of really great FL Studio has a ton of really great stock plugins that I recommend you use and you learn on before you start buying plugins like me and be a degenerate spending money out your asshole even though you don't have it. Another thing you want to know in here is this is your routing chain. This is where your signal goes. So notice what I just did is I clicked this little arrow and I unhooked it from the master. So now anything that's coming through this insert is not going to be heard at all because it's not going anywhere. The signal dies right here. If I click it here, anything coming through this insert is going to go through this chain into this insert, and then this insert is going to send it to the master. So I'll hear everything through here. I'll also hear it through here, and then I'll hear it into my master, and then this goes to my headphones, my speakers, whatever bummy system I'm using. That's pretty much everything you need to know for this video. You should probably like, follow, and subscribe. I don't even know how you can follow somebody on YouTube, but I see mad YouTubers saying like, follow, subscribe, and turn on the bell, so I'm gonna just copy them. I also don't know how to edit videos. You're gonna see some real you're gonna see some real bad edits throughout this video. I hope you just rock with me and let me learn and let me do my thing and let me figure it out. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna end the video right there. I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope y'all stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. Be yourself, create some dope shit, and let's make some music together, man. Take it easy. Peace.